Hello everyone! Today's battle, who do you think would win in a fight? Matthew Malloy or Sentry? Matthew Malloy and Sentry are two notable superpowered characters in the Marvel Universe, known for their powers far surpassing most other superheroes. Matthew Malloy, dubbed the most powerful mutant to ever exist, possesses the ability to alter reality and has unlimited strength, making him a formidable threat. The product of a failed experiment, Malloy not only transcends all mutant limits, but also disrupts the natural order, causing him to be hunted and causing catastrophic events. Sentry, or Robert Reynolds, is a symbol of light and darkness. Possessing the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, he is a celebrated hero, but also a formidable foe when he is dominated by his dark personality, the Void. Sentry's inner conflict is the source of tragedy, making him both a savior and bod, unforeseen threa. Before we dive into the analysis, please hit the subscribe button. Please remember to turn on notifications and click the bell icon. Thanks everyone. Matthew Malloy of Earth 14923, one of the most powerful mutants in history, possesses powers that far exceed any known limits. From a young age, his powers manifested uncontrollably, causing anomalies such as altering reality. Charles Xavier, upon discovering Matthew, realized that the boy was not only a high-level Omega mutant, but also an entity capable of shaping both space and time, possessing the power to change the entire landscape of the universe. Unlike other mutants, Malloy's powers are not simply the control of an element, but he possesses absolute power in manipulating reality, energy, and even life and death. Because of this, Charles Xavier once feared that Malloy's existence was an unpredictable threat that could disrupt the balance between mutants and humans. He had to both avoid pursuers who wanted to exploit his powers and fight against his own fears. Malloy's immense power not only defines him. Matthew Malloy, described as possessing the most powerful mutant brain ever recorded, is a mutant who transcends all known limits. Malloy's mutant brain acts as a cosmic powerhouse, allowing him to create or destroy reality at will. This makes him a difficult entity to control, far beyond that of other Omega-level mutants. Organizations like SHIELD and Sentinel Services view him as an ultimate threat, while the X-Men attempt to find a way to help him control his powers. However, Malloy lives in isolation, suffering from the pain of his powers unintentionally causing catastrophic consequences. Charles Xavier, aware of Matthew Malloy's limitless power as a young boy, decides to reach out and guide him. By interacting with the deepest levels of his mind, Xavier meets Matthew in his dreams and memories, creating a safe space where the boy can trust and express his emotions. However, Xavier's presence in Matthew's mind is not only to reassure him, but also to try to understand and shape this immense power. As powerful mutants and government organizations seek to reach Matthew through more dangerous means. After realizing that Matthew Malloy's powers could tear apart reality, Charles Xavier used his full telepathic abilities to seal away most of the boy's powers. Rather than destroy the potential power, Xavier chose to create a psychic barrier inside Matthew's mind, allowing him to live a mostly normal life. Each year, Xavier personally visited Matthew, not only to test and strengthen the barrier, but also to build a bond between the two. He hoped that the gradual guidance would help Matthew learn to control his powers as he grew older. This situation put Matthew in a dilemma. While he lived a normal life, the memories of his sealed powers and Xavier's periodic presence always reminded him of a part of himself he had never fully understood. As Matthew grew older, his powers began to exceed the limits of the barrier, threatening to break the seal and throw the world into chaos. Matthew Malloy reawakened his powers when he met his sister-in-law, and in a state of stress and panic. A person reminded Matthew Malloy of his lost family. The pent-up emotions inside him exploded. Matthew's sealed latent power surpassed all limits, breaking through the psychic barriers that Charles Xavier had once placed. The rise of this power turned him into an unstoppable entity, with telepathic abilities so powerful that they could control even veteran mutants. The moment he confronted Bennett, Duparis, Exodus, and Headlock, the masters of telepathy, Matthew not only resisted but destroyed their psychic structures. He paralyzed their telepathic abilities, leaving them with a vivid and permanent nightmare in their minds. This situation put Matthew on a collision course with the entire mutant community and global organizations, forcing even the most powerful mutants like Jean Grey or Emma Frost to find a way to deal with it, while he himself was torn between humanity and destructive rage. This is insane because Bennett Duparis is an Omega-level mutant. Matthew Malloy being able to fight Charles Xavier is crazy enough, but it also shows what he can do to Charles Xavier. Matthew Malloy can teleport people ... He teleported Cyclops back to his hideout and everyone who confronted him. Matthew Malloy easily killed SHIELD specialists and agents, and he also destroyed the helicarrier. Matthew Malloy's mind can destroy the environment if he doesn't control himself ... He destroyed a mountain. Conversely, he can also reshape the mountain. Matthew Malloy almost claimed that he is more powerful than the Avengers and the X-Men, proved that statement to be true when he manipulated and killed the X-Men. The boy Matthew Malloy was so powerful Charles Xavier couldn't even control him, and every time he tried, the boy Matthew Malloy's mind passively resisted distorting reality as well, exploding with this destructive power. As if the world around him was being turned inside out and pushed outwards, Matthew Malloy's power to push the world outwards is just another way of saying that he is an Omega-level mutant whose power, by definition, defies the laws of time, space, and physics. Matthew Malloy's power is higher than that of an Omega-level mutant. His power is to have the power of time, space, and life-death. Subscribe to the channel, it helps us a lot, and moreover, you will get to see great videos every day. You are the best, thank you very much. Sentry is Marvel's equivalent of Superman. Actually, the word equivalent is a really inadequate and small description of what Sentry really is. Sentry's power is literally limitless. He's like an upgrade to Superman that has no end. Sentry, a being with godlike powers thanks to the serum of 1,000,000 suns, is one of the most powerful characters ever created. During his battle with Ares, Sentry showed his ruthlessness when he tore apart the god of war with pure physical strength. Not long after, when he faced Tony Stark in his extremist armor, he easily destroyed it without much effort. This is a testament to Sentry's superior abilities when he encountered the world-breaker Hulk. Despite his mental instability, Sentry still overwhelmed him and forced Hulk to revert to his Bruce Banner form, something that few people have been able to do. In terms of strength, he is considered to be on par with Thor, not only in terms of combat power, but also in terms of endurance and magic resistance. However, Sentry's biggest problem is his mental instability, as he is constantly torn between his heroic identity and the nightmare the void hidden deep within, threatening everything he tries to protect. Sentry is the embodiment of a power. In the battle with Terrax, a herald of Galactus, Sentry easily overwhelmed and defeated him, even when Terrax used the power of the cosmic axe to attack. Not only did Sentry block cosmic attacks, Sentry also paralyzed Terrax with only a fraction of his power. Sentry's power is often compared to 1,000,000 exploding suns, implying a destructive power that can wipe out a series of solar systems or even shatter dimensions. According to Paul Jenkins, Sentry's power has the potential to destroy one or universes. However, the nightmare of the void always accompanies him, making Sentry both a savior and the greatest threat to reality. Death Seed Sentry, during his battle with Thor, he overwhelmed the god of thunder, defeating Thor with a series of powerful attacks and incredible speed. Even though Thor used both the power of lightning and Mjolnir to counterattack, Sentry still endured the direct blows without showing any signs of weakness. This scenario shows a Sentry who is virtually unstoppable, surpassing even the gods of Asgard. In a battle with Captain Marvel, one of Earth's most powerful superheroes, Sentry easily overpowers her. Despite Carol Danvers' energy powers and tactics, she is unable to harm Sentry, while he only needs a single blow to completely disable her. When faced with Golden Thor, a weaker version of Thor but still wielding the godlike power of Asgard, Sentry still has the upper hand. He deflects attacks from Mjolnir and knocks Thor down with overwhelming strength. This scenario puts Merge Sentry in a formidable position. In his unified state, which allowed him to achieve a temporary balance between his humanity and the darkness of the void, but also made him an unpredictable force, Sentry, in an overloaded state of power absorbed from the Absorbing Man, became so powerful that the Absorbing Man's power only increased his own, making him even more powerful but also overloaded. He gradually lost control as his power grew so great that he almost became a threat to the entire world. During this time, Sentry was no longer a hero but an uncontrollable entity, facing the possibility of destroying the entire universe without timely intervention. Absorbing Man had once absorbed the Odin Force and the power of Mjolnir. In the battle with Genis Vell, son of Mar-Vell, Sentry released a huge amount of energy. Genis Vell, possessing powers almost equal to Captain Marvel, took the fight to a new level, causing both to constantly increase in power throughout the battle. However, Sentry, with a combination of godly power and latent power from the void, overcame all obstacles and released a huge wave of energy, strong enough to destroy planets in a moment. A weaker Sentry once brought the World War Hulk to a stalemate. Although World War Hulk managed to restrain his power for most of the battle in Manhattan, he still easily defeated many famous heroes. Opponents such as Doctor Strange, a Skrull impersonator of Black Bolt, the Defenders, Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, and even Iron Man in his new Hulkbuster armor, clearly demonstrate his immense power. During this battle, Sentry released enough energy to destroy the world. In a fight with Molecule Man, who can control all matter in the multiverse, Void was unfazed. He stripped Molecule Man of his abilities with ease, not giving his opponent any chance to fight back. He used his telepathic powers to stop Mjolnir on the spot, and the scan below shows him punching Thor so hard that it shook an entire alien planet. Perfect Sentry was able to defeat Scout, who had the powers of Golden Sentry. Perfect Sentry is the most powerful version of Sentry, so he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. Fear the Golden Guardian. Superhero villains in general with superhuman strength and explosive power, no one has been able to defeat Sentry with Void unleashed. Although Sentry without Void was defeated by World Breaker Hulk, Godforce Thor, Blue Marvel, and Adam Warlock. If you talk about superheroes with cosmic powers or reality-altering powers, many can defeat Sentry even without the Void. Some of the names that come to mind are Franklin Richards, Beyonder, Galactus, Dormammu, Legion, Living Tribunal, The One Above All, and a few more. The confrontation may take place in a devastated city where Matthew Malloy, a powerful entity with ultimate reality powers, accidentally causes terrible chaos. Buildings collapse, the sky is darkened by the energy of powerful shockwaves. Malloy, unable to fully control his powers, creates fluctuations in space and time, distorting reality, making everything around him seem like a nightmare. The Void appears from nowhere, carrying his brutality, ready to confront anyone who stands in his way. The Sentry, with immense power described as 1,000,000 exploding suns, rushes into battle determined to extinguish everything. Matthew Malloy, despite his potential, seems unable to control himself during this confrontation, while the Sentry, with his anger and sheer power, can cause destruction. With coldness and brutality, he does not hesitate to tear apart the very concepts of the universe to impose his power. Matthew Malloy, with his boundless reality power, easily repels Sentry, weakening him and making him lose his ability to maintain stability in battle. The changes in reality that Malloy creates make Sentry unable to focus. His body is like being pulled into a distorted world. However, Sentry is not someone to be defeated easily. With superior durability and smart tactics, he begins to find Malloy's weakness, the instability in his opponent's control of reality. When Malloy appears to lose focus in a moment of despair, Sentry takes the opportunity to summon the Void, an entity full of darkness and brutality. A three-way conflict immediately breaks out between Malloy with boundless reality power, Sentry with the power of 1,000,000 suns, and the Void bringing merciless destruction. Who do you think will win this fight? I hope you enjoy this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much, everyone.